Hi everyone, welcome back to Be Fit, Eat Vegan. I'm Linda, and today I'm going to be taking you through a half-hour yin class. Now yin is the portion of yoga that is deep stretch. So we're going to come into our stretch poses and we're going to hold them there for a good long time. Using your ujjayi breath, you're going to release into that pose. Now I will give you some options for if it's uncomfortable for you, so that you can switch it up as you need to. However, I'm going to encourage you to try and hold the pose and just release the muscles. A lot of times the discomfort is in the muscles that are tightening up to protect the joints as you're opening up through those joints. Now, it's a different story if you're feeling that pain in your joints. Completely different story. So take a modification, and I'll give you some modifications in those instances. Now, you're not going to need any equipment today. I'm not going to use any equipment. However, if a block or a book or a Pilates ball or a pillow will help your practice, feel free to incorporate those where you need to. Again, this is going to be about a half an hour, maybe a little bit longer. We're going to probably only be doing about 4 poses, so that tells you we're going to hold them for a good long time. So grab a sip of water and let's get started down on our mats with a Shavasana. So we're going to be starting on our mats with a Shavasana. Just as always, connecting our mind, hearts, and bodies, so that throughout this class you're able to completely release into your pose. So lying down onto your back, finding that position where you're able to completely release. For you, that might mean taking your legs long down the mat, just allowing your feet to splay outward. Or if you feel the need for more lower back support, soles of feet can go to the mat, about hip width apart, just allowing knees to fall together in the center. Or if you'd like more of a hip opener, you can take your soles of feet together, allowing your knees to fall wide into your supine butterfly pose, Baddha Konasana. Just allowing those knees to fall wide, you'll feel that stretch in your groin here. Hands can be long by your side, on your belly or overhead, whichever is most comfortable for you. Palms face down to stay grounded. Face up to receive energy. Eyes are closed. And just take one last scan of your body here, releasing all tensions into your mouth, starting at the crown of your head, releasing your tongue from the roof of your mouth, unfurrowing your brow, releasing shoulders into the mat, feeling your arms fall heavy. Allow your belly button to be drawn by gravity towards your spine. Releasing glute muscles, allowing them to soften. And just letting go of your legs and your feet. Now coming into that ujjayi breath, nice, slow, deep, even breaths through your nose. Keeping your mouth closed, we'll take a 4-second inhale. Pause at the top, sending the breath to the back of the throat, and then a 4-second exhale through your nose, with a pause at the base. Now focus completely on this breath work now, finding that rhythm, connecting mind, heart, and body. thoughts back to the present. Wiggling our fingers and our toes, bringing the awareness back into our bodies. Taking a big inhale through the nose. And a loud, noisy exhale through an open mouth. When you're ready, just starting some slow movement into your body, moving your arms, moving your legs, wiggling your toes, moving through those ankles and wrists. And then when you're ready, rolling to your right side, using your hands to help push you up to seated. And we'll get started with our first yin pose. It's going to be pigeon pose, one of my favorite. Very important that you pay attention to your form, and I will talk you through that, and then I'll give you some modifications if you need it. So we're going to start in an easy cross-legged position. One ankle is in front of the other. We're going to start with the left ankle in front. The reason I like to start here is our right leg right now is exactly where it needs to be for the front leg in your pigeon pose. I'm going to have to move forward a little bit. So I want you to look down at your right leg here. Notice that the knee is at the edge of the mat. That leg is on an angle and your foot is soft. It's neither flexed nor pointed. That's exactly where you need it to be for your pigeon pose. Too often I see people pull that leg right underneath, and then you're crushing your organs. You're not opening up through the hips. So let's keep that right leg exactly where it is, and you're going to just take that left leg around to the back. You'll tuck your toes, make sure that leg is going straight back, and you're going to keep your toes tucked as you work that foot back as far as you can. You'll start to feel the stretch through your hips and your groin here. Now once you get it back as far as you can untuck those toes. Now I want you to check your alignment here. Make sure that right knee is still at the edge of the mat. Your right heel should be in front of your left hip, not under it and certainly not behind it. If you've got that leg forward, which is an advanced option, so the front leg, your right leg, is parallel to the top of your mat, be mindful to keep that foot flexed to protect your knee. I'm not going to take it that deep today. From here, I want you to check your hips. Make sure that they're square to the front of the mat. Your left knee is pointing straight down, left foot is pointing straight back. From here, you can come down to your elbows, resting your head on a block or a book or a pillow or whatever you have, or you can take it all the way down, releasing your forehead to mat. Closing your eyes here, coming back to that Ujjayi breath. Just breathe and release. Feeling that opening up, that stretch in your glutes. Now if this is too much for you, your option is to take it to your back into your supine figure 4. So you'll be here on your back, feet are hip width apart. You're going to flex your right foot, place that ankle across your left thigh, and then from here you can either push that right knee away, you'll feel the stretch in the front of your right hip, or you can lift the left foot off the mat, taking hands either behind the thigh, drawing that leg in close, or in front of the shin, drawing it in closer. Now you're going to feel that stretch on the outside of the right hip, just as you would as if you were in pigeon. Being mindful here that you're keeping your head and your shoulders on the mat. Again, closing your eyes, coming into that Ujjayi breath, and release. With each inhale, I want you to take in positive energy, and then on the exhale, release the negative and open up those joints a little bit more and let those muscles melt into the mat. Again, be mindful that those hips don't fall as you release. You want to hold the form, holding it here. Taking this time for yourself, of the things that you are grateful for. With each inhale, filling up with that positive energy. And on the exhale, letting go of any stress or anxiety. Beautiful. Just release here. As we stay into the pose, you may start to feel some tension in your muscles. That's just your muscles tightening up to protect those joints. Just use that breath, let it go. Through it. Just release. We have just a few more breaths here. Using that breath to let that tension go. Nice and slowly coming back up to your hands here. Sitting up, sitting onto your right hip. You're going to use your left hand behind the left thigh, helping that leg around to the front. Don't bring it around on its own. You can pull your groin. So help it around. Taking both legs long, we're going to give them a little shake here. Take a moment here. Grab a sip of water if you need to. Giving those hips a moment before we come on to the other side. And now let's take it to the other side. Coming back into that easy cross-legged position. This time we're going to start with the right ankle in front of the left. And again, it's because we are placing that left leg exactly where we want it to be. So again, notice that the knee is at the edge of the mat, leg is on an angle, foot is soft. Now, if you're really flexible, once we take the right leg around, you can bring that left foot forward, remembering to flex that foot to protect your knee. So from here, keeping the left leg where it is, swing the right leg around to the back, tucking your right toes, release the knee to the mat, using that foot to help inch your way back as far as you can, and then you'll untuck your toes. Let's check our alignment from here. First, left knee is at the edge of the mat. You have not pulled it in. Hips are right in the center of your mat, facing forward. Left heel in front of your right hip. Right knee pointing straight down, right foot pointing straight back. Take a peek at it, make sure. From there, once you're satisfied with your alignment, coming down, releasing to the mat. You can either take your forehead to a prop, whether it be a block, a pillow, a ball, or all the way down to the mat, releasing here. Once again, the alternative option is to take it to your back for that supine figure 4. You're going to take the left leg, flex that foot, place the ankle across the right thigh. Once again, your options are to push that left knee away, opening up through the hip, or you can lift that right foot off the mat, taking hands either behind the thigh or in front of the shin, drawing that leg in close. Again, wherever you are, you're closing your eyes, focusing on that Ujjayi breath, and completely releasing into the pose. Try to hold it for the whole time, gaining that flexibility. Once again, breathing in positive energy, exhaling the negative, releasing muscles, surrendering into the pose, allowing your body to melt. At the same time, you are keeping the form. Don't allow those hips to fall. We see that a lot. On this side, we would specifically see it falling more into the left hip. It feels a little bit easier. However, it can be dangerous for that back knee because it tends to put you on the side of that knee and it can hurt that knee. So you want to make sure you keep those hips square and that knee pointing straight down. Breathe through it. Just a few more breaths here. Stay with that Ujjayi breath. Really focus on the breath. And slowly coming back up to your hands here. Sitting on to your left hip, using the right hand behind the right thigh, help that leg around to the front. Take both legs long, giving them a little shake here, just loosening up through those hips. Once again, you can grab a sip of water here, and then we'll carry on. Next, we're going to be coming into Fire Log. Now, this is not one of my favorite poses. As a matter of fact, it's quite the opposite. And for a number of years, I couldn't even come close to doing it. But it really does help your hips, so it's a great hip opener. I will definitely give you a modification option if you need that. However, I will take you through the full pose first. So we're going to start with our left foot on the mat. We're going to get our right leg out of the way for a moment. You're going to make sure that both feet are flexed in this pose at all times. It protects your knees and the pressure that's on them. So keep your feet flexed. You're going to take that left foot and make it parallel to the top of your mat. Now, a lot of times I see people pull that foot in real close like this. This is not Fire Log, okay? We want that foot out and parallel. From here, again, your right foot is flexed. You're gonna use your hands, take that ankle, place it right on top of your knee, okay? So it's not here. This is easier. We wanna get it right up on top. Now, like I said, it took me a long time to be able to do this. For a long time, I was here, and I was probably leaning back a little bit too. So we want to be right here, and then you're going to look down at your legs. You're going to make sure your legs are stacked one on top of each other like Fire Logs. Your right ankle is above your left knee. Your right knee is above your left ankle. From here, you want to sit up nice and tall through the spine, and you can put a little pressure on that right knee. You'll feel it in your hip here. Now, if that knee is all the way down here, if you're one of those people that's extremely flexible, then to get a little extra stretch in, you can just lean forward over those legs and release there, okay? Now, here's the modification. If this is excruciating for you, I understand. It could be in your knees or your hips, wherever it might be. If it's excruciating and you don't think you can hold it, or if you can only hold it for a short period of time. Your modification is to take that left leg long, toes are pointing up, right foot is still flexed, but you're going to place that ankle just above your left knee. Sitting up nice and tall. Again, you'll put a little pressure on that right knee. You'll feel it in that hip, okay? So just a little. And then if it gets to be a bit much, you can let it up. And then again, go back into it. Nice and slow. Take it at your pace, okay? This is, again, really good for your hips. And we should all be looking after our hips, especially as we get older. Working them out and stretching them are both very, very important. Again, whenever you're into the pose, whatever your level is, close your eyes, come back to that Ujjayi breath and breathe. And again, you're breathing in positive energy, exhaling any negative energy. Inhaling happiness and joy, exhaling stress and anxiety. This is a good time for a little meditation, some time for yourself, thinking about the things in your life that you're grateful for, breathing that in. Stay with it, nice and long through the spine. If you prefer, you can take your hands to prayer at heart center, or you can take your thumbs to your third eye. Whichever level you're at, just gently using your hands to unwind the legs. You want to take them both long and give them a little shake here. Again, we're going to take a few seconds, just allowing those hips some time before we take it to the other side. Great time to grab a sip of water if you need one. Ready, we'll take it to the other side, starting with the right foot on the mat. Foot is flexed, leg is parallel to the edge of your mat. Remember, don't tuck it in too tight, nice and out there parallel. And then taking the left foot, flexing that foot, stacking it on top of the right knee. Oh, I feel it on this side more. And you might find that we're not completely even on both sides. We've got one side that's stronger, one that's more flexible. Sometimes they're the same, sometimes they're completely different. Obviously, I'm less flexible on this side. This is very uncomfortable for me. But again, once you're in the pose, look down at your legs, make sure ankle above knee, knee above ankle. And you can put a little pressure on that left knee, feeling that stretch in that hip. Or if this is really comfortable for you, feel free to fold forward over your legs, closing your eyes, releasing there. Again, the modification option is to take that right leg long, foot is flexed, toes pointing up, left foot is flexed, ankle is stuck just above the knee. We don't want it on the knee here because it'll put undue pressure on that knee. So just above the knee. Nice and tall through the spine, put a little pressure on that knee, and you'll feel that stretch in your hip. So this is like a half fire log. Again, once you're into the pose, close your eyes, come back to that Ujjayi breath, and again, taking hands to prayer at heart center or thumbs to your third eye. See if you can feel that energy flowing through your fingertips. Stay nice and tall through the spine, don't sink into it. Breathing in that positive energy. Breathe through it. Your eyes, using your hands, gently unwind your legs. Ooh. Taking them long, again give them a little shake. And again you can take a little break here, a little sip of water, and we'll come into another hip opening pose. So we have one more hip opener for you today, just getting all the different angles in our hips. We're going to come into our deer pose. So we're going to start long ways on our mat. We'll start with our left leg in front. Again, you're going to take it parallel to the top of your mat with a flex foot. Again, please make sure your feet are flexed. It protects your joints. So that leg is parallel, and you want it at 90-90. So you're lining up the top part of your leg with the edge of the mat and the bottom part of your leg with the top of your mat. Now you're going to take your right leg and line it up the same way. So this part of your leg, the top part of your leg, is parallel to the back of your mat. The lower part of your leg is parallel to the edge of your mat. Again, foot is flexed. So now you've got 90-90 going on in both legs. Now you're going to turn your body, so we're here, we're going to turn our body to face right in the middle of those legs. So you're facing on about a 45-degree angle, sort of going straight through that mat. From there, you're going to take your hands behind your hips and lean back evenly. Now I often see quite a bit of this, okay? I want you to press that hip down. If it doesn't go all the way down, that's okay, just to where you can take it. I also see this knee come up, the left knee come up. That's okay, press it down. I also see this knee come up. That's okay, press it down, wherever's comfortable for you. Okay, now lean back. You're gonna feel that stretch through the right hip, right down that right quad, okay, and maybe even into the knee. You should also feel it in the back part of your hip. Now, if you're If this is easy for you, feel free to take it down to your elbows from here. Just make sure that you're going back on that 45 degree, okay? So straight back from the center of your legs. And if this is easy, you can take it all the way down to your back. I don't have room here, I'm hitting my couch. However, it is a stretch where you can get that stretch even just right here, okay? But wherever you're comfortable. The nice thing about taking it down to your back is you can really release into it. You're not holding anything. Wherever you are, I want you to try and do that. Close your eyes. Again, focus on that Ujjayi breath. And just allow that hip to open. Beautiful. Breathe through it, enjoy it. Now wherever you are, nice and slowly making it back up to your seat. All the way up, sitting right up. From here, using your hand on that right leg, sweeping it around. We're going to take both legs long, giving them a little shake. Again, just releasing through those hips. And then we'll take it to the other side. So you're going to take your right leg, line it up with your mat, top part of your leg parallel with the edge of the mat, bottom part of your leg parallel to the top of your mat, and that foot is flexed. From there, you're going to take your left leg behind you on 90 degrees as well. So the top part of your leg is parallel with the back of the mat, bottom part of your leg parallel with the edge of your mat, your foot is flexed. From there, turning to face halfway between, body is on a 45, pressing down through that left hip, hands go behind your hips, lean it back. Now again, I feel it more on this side than I did on the other. You may find the same thing or opposite. And again, you should feel that stretch in the front of your left hip, down through the left quad. Pressing that left hip down as much as you can, left knee down. Making sure that you're not lifting up, you want to be going down as evenly as possible. And if you're comfortable, you can take it down to those forearms or all the way down, releasing your back onto your floor. Now you may have noticed here my left knee has come up off the mat. That is okay. You want to be pressing it down though. Don't let it come up too high. You want to press it down so that you feel that stretch. Again, closing your eyes, using that Ujjayi breath to completely release. Beautiful. If you come down to your back or your forearms, slowly making your way back up to seated, coming all the way back up, and then using hands behind that left leg, take it around to the front. Give those legs a little shake here. have one last easy little hip opener for you. This one's going to work right into your hip flexors. So again, we're going to come into an easy cross-legged position, one ankle in front of the other, nice and tall through your spine. Inhale, both arms up, lengthening through your spine. Exhale, hinge forward and take it right down to the mat. Allowing your elbows to fall to the mat, let your head fall. Now it doesn't matter how far forward you get. If you're here and you're feeling that stretch, this is as far as you can come, that's fine, that's you, okay? If you can get it all the way down, I want you to walk your fingertips forward and you'll feel an extra little stretch in your upper back here. Now if you don't feel stretch in your hip flexors here, it's probably because you're extremely flexible and we have just really stretched them out, so you may not feel much, but this is a good one for those of you that have really tight hip flexors, because you can just release into it here. Slowly, one vertebrae at a time, we're rolling it up to seated. We're going to switch our legs, taking your other ankle in front. Nice and long through the spine. Inhale, both arms up, lengthen. Exhale, fold forward and release. Again, just let your head hang, don't hold it up. Keep both sit bones down on the mat. Don't let your butt lift up off the mat. From here, we're going to take our legs long down the mat. Arms go out, and we're going to roll it down to our back, nice and slow. One vertebrae at a time, taking it all the way down. Closing your eyes here, finding the position where you're able to release. Taking a final Shavasana. Again, coming back to that Ujjayi breath. Releasing any lingering tensions, letting them all go now. Taking this time to think of all the wonderful things that is in your life. That you are grateful for. And I want you to take a second here to thank yourself for allowing these wonderful, positive things to be in your life. Holding on to these thoughts as you go forward, especially any time that some negativity tries to creep in, just come back to these wonderful thoughts. Slowly opening our eyes, rolling on to our right side. Using hands, pushing ourselves up to seated and coming back into our easy cross-legged position. I want to take this time once again to thank you all so much for joining me. It's you that keeps me going, and I appreciate it so much. Until next time, stay safe, stay healthy.